So you want to learn how to trade, but you don't know where to go or what resources to even start looking into. Hopefully this video will be helpful for you, and I'm going to be offering you guys a couple of different places and resources for you to check out that are completely free and will help you with getting started in your trading journey. For brand new traders, I highly recommend that you guys go check out Babypips.com. This is completely free website. The most they ask of you, I believe, is like an email, if even that. And they have under their education tab a whole entire course, the School of Pipsology that you can go through. And this thing is really good. It goes from very, very basic beginner things as small as like what is even Forex, all the way down to graduate level stuff. You can see they take you through all of the different types of school levels and helping you progress with your base knowledge that you need to get started. And then you will actually get through like the college type of level courses and then graduation. It's a very well explained, simplified version of what is the Forex market. If you're like me and you come from a background that has absolutely nothing to do with like business and trading world, and you were like, like what are they even talking about? Like every 5 seconds I had to pause the video and like go Google like what words were that they were even talking about, then I highly do suggest checking out babypips.com because they really do a great job at simplifying complex concepts and making it very easy for newer traders to kind of understand and comprehend. I think it is extremely important that you go and take some sort of course like this. This one's completely free, and I honestly discourage you guys from going and taking like those way overpriced beginner courses that are like $500 to $1,000+. And you're going to learn the same exact stuff that's provided here. And if you do enough research, it's always free online. It's just about a convenience thing. So they're charging you for the convenience of providing it for you. But in reality, babypips.com has it very nicely and easily laid out for you guys already in a course. So I would recommend taking this first before going and investing a ton of money in a beginner course. If you're still confused, then that's obviously up to you guys if you want to proceed with some sort of course like that. But I really think that if you spend enough time looking at babypips.com, you'll be fine as far as learning the basics. The other thing I want to point out on here that I really like is that they do have quizzes. So if you're that type of learner where you like to be like pushed a little bit with your knowledge and you like to have to like answer something, quizzes are really good to use. But this Forex Glossary is my favorite thing that they offer. This saved my life when I was pausing all of those videos and looking things up. Like this was the best thing ever for me. Literally looked up every word. And like I said, I did not come from a trading background. I came from a nursing world. So for me to learn trading was like, what? I remember watching a video and this woman was talking about how like pips pay her bills, and I was like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Like all I know is like I got bills and I need some pips to pay them. So I was like, where do I get these pips? How do I find them? Where do you buy them? Like what's a pip? And I would have to pause what I was doing, come on here and like typing in something as simple as like pip, and you can look it up and then it'll break it down for you and explain it in very simple terms for you to understand what it is that they're talking about. So if you're somebody who is like me and like every 5 seconds somebody was using a term in a video that you're like, huh? Instead of kind of just skipping over it and just being like, whatever, let me watch the rest of the video, pause your videos, come on and look up what they're talking about. So that way you're actually comprehending what is going on in those videos. The next place that I would tell you guys to go to is Investopedia. So if you finish babypips.com, or if you're at the point in your trading journey where babypips.com is a little bit too beginnerish for you, then Investopedia.com is a great resource. Investopedia.com has a whole academy as well where you can look at the trading and stuff, but they also have good stuff for investors, which I really liked when I got to the point where I was becoming profitable, but now I wanted to learn how to invest and like how do I make percentages off of dividends and things like that. These were things that were still foreign concepts to me. I wanted to learn how to like have my money make me money, like as passive investment money too. This is a really good resource, I think, for people who get to that stage in their trading. It's also really good for beginners as well. You want to have a little more detail to the things that you're looking up. You want to have a little more content with it, like as far as like articles and research done, then Investopedia.com is really good for it. Investopedia.com is also really good for people who are trading other things than just Forex. So if you're looking at stocks, futures, options, or even Forex, you could definitely use Investopedia.com as your education go-to place, whereas Babypips.com is more Forex focused. So both Babypips.com and Investopedia.com I would recommend to you guys as far as quality educational content goes and looking things up for like researching specific topics that you might be looking for, or vocabulary words, markets, stuff like that. So both of those are great and completely free. The next topic I'm going to talk to you guys about is myforexbooks.com. For those of you who are trading throughout the day or day trading, an important thing for you to look at is fundamentals trading. Whether you actually use fundamentals trading or not, it's still important to understand and know about it. When I say fundamentals trading, what that means is trading news. Having big news events happening is important to know when it comes to trading currencies or trading any type of stocks or anything like that that would affect the volatility of the markets. So it's important to be tracking news. MyForexBooks.com does this for free. You can go to their website or you can download their app. I use their app usually because it's quicker, but you can also go to their website where you can see they have lots of other features that you can use as well. The place that you're going to go to is the economic calendar. You click on that and you can scroll down a little bit and you'll see that they give you like a calendar as far as like what's happening. What they'll do is they'll show you the days here, they'll show you the country, and then they'll show you the impact of the news. Typically, low and medium impact news is not that important, but when it comes to high impact news, that is something you want to look out for. So when you're going to sit down to start your day for trading, checking news for the session that you're trading in and the times that you're trading is important. For instance, here on March 7th, you can see that Germany has high impact news that's being released. If you're somebody who's trading during the London session, this is something you would want to be aware of, especially if you're trading something with a German currency to it. So for instance, if you're trading the German 30 or 40, whichever version you're trading, this would be something you would definitely want to be aware of and potentially avoid taking trades at that time. So you want to come in and check this. I will link a video up here in the right-hand corner. Artie from the Moving Average has already covered this in very good detail, explaining myforexbooks.com and how trading fundamentals and the news is very important to understand. Whether you actually trade that style or not, it's still something you need general concept of. Definitely check out myfxbooks.com or whatever you want to use for news. Just make sure you're using something when it comes to analyzing the news, but they are completely free. And the other thing they offer, which is kind of cool, I want to show you guys, is a bunch of different types of calculators. Calculators are so important when it comes to trading. So they offer like currency calculators if you don't know the difference in your currencies, position size, pips, margins. Like you can just see there's tons of different types of calculators that they're offering you. So if you're ever trying to figure out something, you can check them out. They have all the calculators for you guys to use for free. The other type of calculator that a lot of you guys have been liking that was recommended by a member a while ago is this Cashback4x calculator. People have been liking this because you can calculate indices pretty easily on here, or gold, or anything that would have like a different contract size. To quickly explain this to you guys, the way it would work is you would pick your instrument, so whatever pair you want to trade. I trade US 30 a lot, so we'll stick with that. You pick your deposit as far as your currency, USD. You have two options here. You can do your opening price, which is where you're buying at, and then your stop loss, which is where you would want the maximum amount of loss to be at. So the prices you could put in. Or if you hover over this stop loss price, you can switch to stop loss in pips, which a lot of people seem to like better. It's easier for you guys to understand because that's how most of the calculators for Forex pairs are set up. So you would switch it, and then this now would become your pips or your points if you're using indices. So in this case, let's say we have a 50-point stop loss. We can pretend we have a 100K account for our balance, and then we want to risk 1%. Typically, you only want to risk 1 to 2% of your overall account per trade. So please make sure you're practicing good risk management. That's also important when you are starting to trade, but that we can get into in a different video. But they do offer you to just do it in dollar amount as well. So if you only wanted to risk, say, $1,000, you could just put it in how much you're willing to risk dollar amount wise, and it would calculate it out for you. Or you could just do percentage wise, and it would still calculate it out for you. What I would like to point out to you guys is this part here where it says 1 pip size. what that means. That is your contract size. A lot of people get very confused when they look at people's trades and their lot sizes don't match up with someone else's lot size. And they don't understand why it is that somebody with a 0.01 lot size might have made $1,000, but when they put in a 0.01 lot size, they might have only made $10. And they don't understand. The reason is that you have a different contract size with your specific broker. So this is important to know and understand what that means. This is where your contract size will go. If you're trading anything that requires you to change a contract size, you need to make sure this matches up. So I'll show you an example here. I'm going to show you guys on just like a demo Hugosway account here, like how you would do this, but on any account, whether it's demo or live or whatever, you can find this information. You're just going to click in your symbol area, click on the pair that you're looking for. So I have US 30, and then you're going to right click it, click on specifications, and that will pull up all of your information for your US 30 contract that this specific broker, Hugosway, has with US 30. So what I'm interested in is the contract size. You can see that for me, it's 100. That's what I'm going to put in when I go to put in my calculator amount. So my contract size is going to be 100 for pip size. Then we click on calculate. So you can see for me, my lot size then would be 0.2. That's what I would type in for my lot size when I'm placing my trade. So for me, on a 100K account, to risk a 50-point stop loss of 1% of that account would be a 0.2 lot size. And the max amount of money that I could lose, that I would be risking, is 1,000. So I hope you guys understand that a little bit better. I'll show you quickly on a different broker how this looks. So contract size for Hugosway is 100. And then I'm going to show you guys here. This is Traders Global Group. So US 30 again, I'll show you, right click it, specifications. You can see for them, their contract size is very different. They have 100,000 contract size. So that's what I'm saying, where you're going to have different numbers. So you need to be aware of like what your contract sizes are, so that way you know what to be putting in that area of your calculator in order to get back the right number for your lot size. If I confuse you guys there's tons of resources about that stuff that you can look up, but please definitely look into it a little bit more. But I just want you guys to know that. Nonetheless, this is a free calculator that you guys can use if you want to have it up. The other option you can do is you can come back to your brokers. So if you're using like an MT4 and you want it built in, you guys can see I actually have a built-in one here where it's like built into my MT4. So I just have to go ahead and like type in my risk to reward, my percentage, and I'll like click where I want it to place my trades. And that it automatically does it for me. This was kind of expensive. I don't want to show you guys that because this is meant to be all free stuff, but there are free options. You'll come into your MT4 terminal, you'll click on market, and when you come to the market, you can search what you're looking for. So you can type in like risk calculator. And as you can see, of course, there are some paid ones. Make sure you're paying attention to the bottom here, but some of them are free. There's like a free here, but you can kind of look through, there's different versions of things. My recommendation, if you are looking into like a paid one, is that you check out if they have a free demo before you go and buy it. So this one has a demo download. Just make sure that you actually like it and that it's working the way you would want it to work before you would go and buy anything. But they do have free options as well that you can install directly onto your MT4 if you don't want to have to like take the extra step that I was showing you guys on the Cashback4x and calculating it yourself. But either option is available for you. The next important resource that I would tell you guys to look into using is Tradingview. So MT4 looks pretty old school. It's not that clean looking, as you guys can see. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's just not very updated. It feels very old school to me. I don't really like looking at it. I actually hate the desktop version of it, so I don't really like using it. But tradingview.com is very clean. They have really nice looking charts that you can look at. I'll show you guys. It's just a little more user friendly. You can like pull up whatever pair you would want to look at. You get lots of tools on the side that you can use, all your time frames. It's just a little easier to use. They also have some brokers that are built in already that you can trade directly through Tradingview. You don't have to have the extra step of using MT4 as a broker. So you can see some of the brokers that would trade directly through. That's always nice to have because it's one less step you have to worry about. If you're somebody who's interested in like opening up one of these brokers, it'd be nice to have because they're already built in on here. But as far as Tradingview goes, there's always a catch. So you can get it for free. It's absolutely possible. They have a free version that you can get a subscription to with just an email. But there are restrictions when it comes to using their free version. And if you want to use like more indicators or more trading alerts or whatever, you're going to need to upgrade and pay for it. So there are different versions. I'm not telling you guys need premium at all. I don't even use premium. As you can see, I'm a Pro Plus person. You can see I'm Pro Plus. So I don't even use premium, but some people, you know, do, and that's fine if you feel like you would use it a lot. I don't find the need for it. You can do whatever you want. They do offer a free trial though, and I highly recommend that you use the free trial. Like, definitely take advantage of getting it free for a month and see how you feel about it. Find out if you even really need to pay for the upgraded versions, or like if you're finding that you only use like 3 or less indicators and you don't care about alerts or whatever, then just stick with the free version of Tradingview. If you're somebody who's finding that your strategy requires a little bit more and you're going to probably have to look at potentially upgrading, you know, there is the Pro. Most traders could probably get away with the Pro version. The Pro Plus I use because we do a lot of back testing and stuff like that. And then Premium is just like all out, like crazy. Most people don't need that. So anyhow, you guys can decide what you want, but I highly recommend using Tradingview when it comes to like your actual analysis of charts. It's just much cleaner. It's a little bit nicer to use. It's more updated. And if you have one of the brokers that allows you to trade directly through them, that's awesome because it's one less thing you have to do to execute your trades. So definitely worth looking into. Okay, so now it's like we're at the point where we know how to trade because we've gone through Babypips.com's course or Investopedia. We have a good risk management situation happening because we are using a calculator. We now have Tradingview to do good chart analysis. And we want to learn how to actually start putting together like a strategy. Like, where is it you go to find a strategy and how do I know if it's even worth using? I recommend YouTube, obviously, because you're going to see traders who actually have already built strategies and showing them off a lot of the times. However, big disclaimer here, that a lot of the times there's a motive for traders sharing a strategy. So please be careful when it comes to watching certain content and videos. And I would tell you to be extremely leery of anybody who's like way over leveraging or over risking. I would not recommend those types of strategies for a beginner trader. And I think that you should be going with somebody who's going to actually show the process of testing out their strategy. Show that they've actually done the work to make sure that it's valid, and not just like show you some like random trade that they took. So this is where you guys are going to have to kind of be a little more on guard and a little more vigilant with who you're actually watching and trusting as far as mentors or like YouTube mentors. There's lots of gurus out there. Some are decent and you're going to get a good amount of content from them. Others are a little iffy, and I don't know if I would trust them, but this particular guy I really like because he shows all of his stuff. There are people who do similar things to what he does as well, so take that with however you want. But this guy, Traders Landing, I do like him. He has a lot of strategies that he has on his website that have all been tested out and broken down, and there are other people who do what he does on YouTube. However, we have tried to like mimic their results with some of their stuff and haven't quite gotten the same results. But this guy we have, and you guys will see that in a video that'll be released actually right after this one. So you can kind of see like, we like him. I definitely think that his stuff seems pretty legit. I think that he doesn't try to oversell it or make it sound like better than things are. So I like that about him. He also doesn't like try to rip it apart either and like sell you a better version of what he would do. He just kind of shows you ways that he would optimize it. And I like that. I feel like that's something similar to the way that I do things. So I'll just like quickly show you guys like his little YouTube introduction video, just so you can kind of hear like how he does things and what it is that I'm talking about.
Hey now, in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you 12 complete trading systems that have been proven profitable over a series of at least 100 consecutive trades. And if you want to see more content like this, just crush that subscribe button.
So that's kind of the concept of what he does. 100 trades, you guys will see a lot of people like stick to that like 100 trade number. We don't like to stick to that number because I find that, 100 trades on a 1 minute time frame is nowhere near as good as like 100 trades that you might get on like a 4 hour or a daily. Those are totally different data pools that you're pulling from. 100 trades on a 1 minute might be a week or less. 100 trades on a 4 hour or a daily might be a year's worth of data. So very different time frames that you're actually getting data from. So 100 trades we don't really like to stick to, but I like the concept of what he does, and his stuff you will see does actually span over long periods of time. So he doesn't just tell you 100 trades, he tells you the amount of time that he's running them over and stuff like that. So I like it. You guys can check him out. He does have a website. It is traderslanding.net. So on his website, you guys will see like he's got a place where you can look at like all his videos, systems he likes, trading systems, all that stuff. It's all in here. The videos do explain the strategies and they'll show the back testing stuff. There is a paid community here, but that comes with everything, guys. I'm not promoting his community at all. Sorry. I don't know him at all personally. That's always going to be a factor in these things. Like I said, like you guys just have to be smart when you're looking for the free stuff to just be able to filter out the fact that like some of these resources are always going to come with like an upgraded membership or a fee if you wanted to have like a certain access to certain things. That's just the reality of this world. You're paying for the convenience of having certain things done for you or given to you, and it is what it is. I've been in this community long enough to just acknowledge the fact that they exist. If you want it for free, there are ways to find it, and that's what I'm giving you guys here. But there are also going to be like the opportunity to always like buy things or upgrade or whatever, and that's just the reality. He does give a lot of free stuff though, so this is why I do like him. He does give like the back testing spreadsheets, which you'll see. He kind of goes through. Then he also does have this free trading journal, which is really nice. I like that he does the free trading journal. I will also show you guys a link to a free trading journal, but he gives that, and I think that's really, really good. So I like that what he puts out, he's encouraging testing and stuff like that. So he does have a bunch of free systems that have been proven. We're also going to review one that I'll show you guys in a next video, so you can keep an eye out for that video to come. But Jay will go over that because we've tested it, and like I said, it matched up with his stuff. It was a decent win rate and was a decent strategy. So definitely keep an eye out for him. He has the free trading journal you guys could get. We also have one. All the links for everything will be below in the description box. I will link everything for you guys for all of this stuff. Roxy, she created this free trading journal, so that's linked in the description box. And you guys can see like she put some examples in here just for you guys to see how it works, but you can delete them out and put your own stuff in. But basically you're just entering the information for you to be able to trade along and like keep track of what you're trading and how is your strategy performing. That's really important to do. So whether you use our journal or you use Traders Landings or whoever's, make your own. If you're really good at Excel, feel free to do that, but just make sure that you are journaling. Okay, so now you have gotten through all of the education, basic background stuff you need. You have figured out how to use a safe risk management plan of like 1 to 2% using a good risk calculator. You have your Tradingview where you know how to analyze charts, and then you have found a successful proven strategy that you have back tested using some trading journal sheets or back testing sheets. And you're feeling really good and you want to start looking at potentially trading. So what you would do now is set up like a demo account. So if you can't trade directly through Tradingview, then you need to find a broker that you would use MT4 with. I'm here in the United States, so I can speak on behalf of the United States people. If you're somewhere else, you're going to need to find out for your specific country, like what brokers are allowed and what you can and cannot trade there and what's regulated and what's unregulated. I want to not get too into detail about this because brokers can get really lengthy, but looking to know more about regulated versus unregulated brokers, go check out this video here that I'll link in the right hand corner. I already done a video explaining brokers and the ones that I personally use. For me specifically, because I like to trade indices, that kind of only leaves me with a couple of options because I am in the United States, and to trade indices with a regulated broker is illegal. So it's not illegal for me to trade them, but to trade them with a regulated broker is not possible. If I wanted to trade something similar to that, I would be trading what would be called the futures market. I can explain that in a little bit later, but I don't trade futures. I like to trade on Forex, but if you wanted to trade something similar, but you wanted to trade it legally and regulated, you would look at a futures broker. Tradingview is one of those. But because I trade indices, I'm trading unregulated brokers. So for me, Hugosway is one of the brokers that I use, as well as Forex. Both of them are unregulated brokers. Like I said, please watch that video so you understand the pros and the cons of using regulated and unregulated brokers. You guys can see just like what they're about a little bit here. You can trade Forex, crypto, stocks. You get up to 500 leverage. You can have a minimum of a $10 deposit. You can check out their website if you want. Everything is linked below. So you can see the major Forex pairs, cryptos, FX crosses, indices, and commodities that you can trade with them. Forex is very similar, $10 deposit, 500 leverage. And you can see same thing, currency, stocks, cryptos, and indices. You can trade with them. Super simple to get demo accounts. You just like download them, you sign up, you can get a free demo account. So you can start like trading in a live market and practicing, but don't have to actually deposit money or anything like that. That is what I recommend you guys do. That's the point of me showing you guys this. This is Oanda. If you are in the US, this is a regulated broker. You could use just Forex pairs with them. So if you're just trading Forex pairs, they're fine, and you would be trading with the safety of a regulated broker. And they offer 1 to 50 leverage. So a little bit smaller with their leverage. You would have to be a little more careful with them, but that comes with regulated brokers. Also, they offer a demo account, so you can sign up for a demo account. And my whole point in me showing you these is that every broker offers demo or paper trading accounts. And I highly recommend, once you've gotten to this point, that you go ahead and start trading with a demo account first. Get the feel of executing the trades, playing everything out. Like once you've back tested out your strategy and you're feeling comfortable, start forward testing it in a live market, but on a demo account, simulating a realistic amount that you would actually be trading with. Don't go like using like a 100K account if you're only ever planning to deposit like $1,000 to trade with. Set your demo account to $1,000 and really trade the actual amount with the real lot sizes and the real risk management plan that you personally would be trading with. So once you've started demoing and you've done really well and you're like feeling comfortable and consistent, you then can start looking at potentially doing a live account. If you're trading with Tradingview and you trade through one of the brokers directly through there, you just deposit money. Super simple. If you have to do the extra step of having an MT4 broker, then you would deposit the money through whatever way that they tell you to deposit it. Things like Hugosway and Forex, they do have you deposit through Bitcoin, and then they'll have you like switch it over. Oanda, you can link like a debit card or a bank account to, either way. But that's like what happens. You'll deposit the money through them, then you'll have it moved over onto your actual live account. And each of those websites will walk you through how to do that for your particular broker. So just check their websites and they'll tell you how to do it. That's if you're going to want to fund your own personal live account with your own money and capital. So please don't start doing that though until you have done all the other previous steps I have told you, because you will lose money and then you'll be upset about it. So you have to spend time and invest time in this to practice things properly and do all the steps that are required before you start just jumping into a live market. It is nowhere near as easy as it looks when you're just starting out. So please don't skip steps. If you feel like you're wanting to look more towards like a funded account, so funded accounts are like prop firm accounts where a company will give you a set amount of capital and you then can trade with that set amount of capital as long as you follow the rules and don't break them. And then anything you make above and beyond their amount of that capital that they've given you, you can then keep. If you're not really sure what a prop firm is, it can be a little bit confusing, but there's tons of videos out there about prop firms. So like people love to make them. So you go ahead and watch them because there's tons of them. The two biggest ones right now that I would say are the best to look at are FTMO and My Forex Funds. They are the most popular and they are probably the most reputable. I know for a fact they pay their people out. There's no problems there. There are tons of other prop firms out there though, and there probably are good ones. I just personally cannot attest to whether they will or will not pay you out or if they have like any other weird like issues. But the two bigger ones are FTMO and My Forex Funds. You can go check them out too. Like everything, like I said, is linked below. FTMO, the reason I really like them for you guys is they offer you a free trial. So even if you decide to go with a different prop firm, before you decide to sign up and pay the fee to get access to the account, I highly recommend that you go to FTMO and practice on a free trial account. When you sign up for the free trial with them, it'll take you to like an area where you can select which size account you want and like which style. And I definitely recommend you guys having some sort of idea of like what it is account you would actually want to sign up for and actually simulate the account size you would want. So if you're going to go for like a 20K account, don't go and pick 100K for the trial. Like make sure you're following along and staying consistent with what you actually plan to do, so you're trading it appropriately and treating it like a real challenge account. They will take you to a back office that you guys can access, which is really cool too. And it still gives you what they call like the matrix area, where it will break down for you guys all of the trading like stats, and it'll show you your progression on a little line chart. It'll tell you whether you would or wouldn't have passed, like that kind of stuff. It is useful for you to use, especially on a free trial. So I like that they still allow you guys to have access to that back office like you would once you're funded. So that's kind of nice to have. So definitely take advantage of this. My Forex Funds also has the same type of concept with like a back office and all of that stuff. They also have very similar programs. They have like this rapid evaluation and accelerated programs, the same style that FTMO has. A little bit different with the rules. That's up to you guys to go through. This isn't like a whole comparison, contrasting video between them, but just telling you about like the top 2 companies that are out there right now. And the same idea when it comes to like plans and stuff like that. The size accounts are relatively similar. Pricing is a little bit different, but rules and stuff like that and pricing are going to differ a little bit between all of the companies. Basically, the concept of trading with prop firms, if you're newer to this stuff, is like you would be able to have access to anywhere from 10K up to 200K worth of capital. Buying power. You are not getting paid out that much money. You're only going to be able to buy with that much money. And then anything you make profit-wise above and beyond what your base capital is, you would then, if you pass and become funded with them, have the ability to withdraw those profits and keep your split percentage. Every prop firm has a different split percentage, so please make sure you guys do your homework and look into them. The websites for FTMO and for My Forex Funds are very good. They explain all of this for you. They all have a facts and question area, and both of them have contact stuff where you can contact somebody from their team and ask very specific questions if you have them as well. But you guys get the idea, like this is what you would get access to, and this is what your fee would be. Like, so it'd be like $84 to get access to 10K worth of buying power, all the way up to $979 to get access to 200K worth of buying power. So the most that you would ever risk in this case would be whatever your fee down here was to sign up for this account. There's no monthly fees for them. So it's a one-time fee that you're paying to potentially be able to pass these evaluations and become a funded trader using whatever the capital amount is that you chose up here. Remember, there's rules involved. Make sure you understand the rules. Make sure you can follow them. That's where this FTMO free trial comes in handy. And once you decide on what size account you want and you understand all the rules, come try the free trial. Make sure you can pass and do it according to the rules that they would ask you to follow. But a lot of people are drawn to prop firms, and understandably so, because it gives you access to a lot of capital that most people don't have. So rather than you coming out of pocket and depositing 10K of your own money into an account, you would only be using $84 of your personal money and only ever potentially losing $84. Like, you wouldn't be responsible if you blew a 10K account. This is all you would be losing. So that's definitely like something that a lot of people are drawn to. For those of you guys who trade futures, I don't want to leave you guys out. I feel like I actually have a lot of people who do trade futures that follow me, and I don't really give you guys enough attention. So I apologize, and I'm going to try and give you guys a little more content. But if you are trading futures and you are interested in being funded, there are prop firms for you guys specifically. So if you're looking to get funded and have the ability to be able to trade with higher capital with futures, then you would be looking at something like Earn to Trade, or Top Step is actually another one. Oh, I didn't put them on here, but Top Step's another one that you guys could look at as well. Top Step is kind of like the FTMO version of futures, and Earn to Trade is like the My Forex Funds version. So Both of them are good. Earn to Trade, I personally was liking though, because I've been looking into this. They have this like new trading career path like plan that they started, which is $90 to start up, and you start with 25K, but then like every time you do well and you meet a goal, like it ups you automatically to a max. I believe it's 200K that they'll max you out at here. Instead of spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars potentially to get access to 200K right away, you can start as low as $90. And as long as you're good and consistent, which you should be practicing first and making sure you are before you go for these challenges, as long as you're good and you're consistent, you will progress to that 200K. So I really like when these firms offer the option for scaling plan. I think for some people, it helps them to know that the most they've ever spent is like $90, but you potentially, if you do well, can get up to 200K worth of it to trade with. And I like that idea. I think it's a nice option. They do have other versions and style accounts you can look at as well. But, for the futures traders, there are options for you guys as well. So there are specific firms meant for just you guys. I think that some of these firms do allow Forex pairs too, but they're just not known for Forex, and you're probably better off going with like FTMO or My Forex Funds when you're going for like an evaluation with them if you want to trade Forex pairs. If you're going for specifically futures, then I would look at maybe like Earn to Trade or a Top Step when you're looking at a funded company. Okay, so that's if you want to be funded. If you wanted to do personal accounts, you already know you're going to do a live account on your broker. I ran through all of that stuff that you guys just went through. Okay, so that covers the major parts from basic learning of Forex and what it is, all the way up to good enough to potentially be funded as a trader now. The very last thing I want to tell you guys, and I really want to stress that you do not ignore, I'm literally saving the best for last, is trading psychology. It is 99% of the problem for most of you, is the trading psychology that comes with trading. And it's a real problem. Most of you go through all of those other steps I just told you. You'll follow them to a certain extent. You'll understand them. You'll learn them. But you do not have the psychology of it down. And you're just fighting yourselves like you're your own worst enemies. You'll close out trades way too soon. You'll panic. You'll revenge trade. It's all very common feelings that happen when you begin trading. And that is expected. But what I would love for newer traders to do is start with the psychology quickly. So don't underestimate the psychology part. Start getting involved with it immediately. Like as soon as you start trading, start getting that into your whole subconsciousness of like, okay, like make sure I'm applying these trading psychology like thoughts and rules. It's easier for you guys to form those good habits versus trying to break very bad habits later on. If you're at all an intermediate or experienced trader, you'll know that trading psychology was huge for anybody. Every single trader has had to battle it at some point. And newer traders tend to kind of get so focused in the task of trading and like the actual physical aspects of like learning things and executing and trading that they're like totally ignoring the psychology part that has to also be mastered. And then they're already forming bad habits by the time they realize that the psychology is their problem. So I really wanted to offer like some sort of resources for that. There are tons and tons of people who do really good jobs at this. Mark Douglas is probably, I spelled his name wrong. Sorry, Mark. He's not Mar, he's Mark Douglas. He's probably one of the biggest like old school people that I can think of when it comes to trading psychology, and he was pretty helpful for me when I was trying to battle this and going through this. He has longer videos. You can see the time lengths on them are pretty long. So if you like that podcast style, seminar-y type of like style video, he's good. There are much shorter people out there that you can also listen to. There are books about it. There's tons and tons of psychology resources when it comes to trading. And I highly recommend that you guys look into them. He is just one of many, but he does help to explain things and simplify things kind of like in an inspirational way. So you can literally just like even type in trading psychology and people are going to come up like for this, and you'll get a bunch of different people video style. So if Mark Douglas doesn't do it for you, whoever does it for you guys, just make sure that you're actually taking the time to look through and like find somebody that is helpful. Even Artie Even Artie here has a video on it, so you could always just go watch Artie's. And lastly, that actually does bring me into Artie. So make sure you focus on trading psychology. Don't avoid that. And as far as free content goes and like educational stuff, Artie's channel is really, really good. So I'm going to plug him a little bit here. He's got the Moving Average channel. If you don't know who he is, you can go check him out. He's got tons of videos. Pretty much everything that he ever talks about is free, and he does a lot of different content and stuff like that. Covers all different types of Forex market, indices, crypto, like whatever you want to talk about. Does some like inspirational videos. Did like Focus Friday videos for a little bit to kind of help with like mental stuff and psychology things. So I really like that as well. So he's really kind of good at explaining things and compacting it. You can tell his videos are pretty short, and he's really, really good at technical analysis. So he shows a lot of TA and his markups, very simple things like a basic trend line or a break of a trend line, wedges, stuff like that, which is really good for newer traders to learn. You should be learning how to trade basics first and then looking to like help supplement with indicators and stuff like that. So I highly recommend that you guys go ahead and do something like his channel or someone else's channel that's going to teach you some technical analysis. I've worked with Artie for a long time and I've like helped him with trading and stuff. So I know that he's going to teach you guys it right. So I highly suggest him. He'll show a lot of different strategies that kind of utilize that. Tons of free strategies as well. There's a very common theme for newer traders to just like rely heavily on an indicator first and not their own judgment. And that comes from a lack of confidence that you guys have in your own technical analysis. So I definitely recommend that even if you have a rule-based trading system all built off indicators, which is okay in the beginning, I still recommend that you start teaching yourself technical analysis because you want to understand like what is that indicator even telling me? What is that indicator even doing? When you understand the foundations of it, like what is the indicator even calculating or trying to decide, and you can see that for yourself with your own eyes, you then can decide when and when not to trust that indicator. So that's why technical analysis for yourself is always important, to be able to do that first and foremost. So I definitely recommend that you guys follow a channel or a YouTuber or somebody that actually does technical analysis. It doesn't have to be Artie or it doesn't have to be me, but find somebody who truly actually analyzes charts. Whatever style makes sense for you, whether it's price action or whether it's doing markups with like just trend lines or wedges, support and resistance, whether it's candle reading, whatever your thing is that makes sense to you, find somebody who does that, but make sure that you're still somehow incorporating the analysis of the chart before you're relying on any indicator. Okay, so that is it for this video. I know there was a lot of information in there, but I'm hoping that there was something useful for you no matter where you're at in your trading journey. If you are brand new to trading, welcome to the trading world, and I wish you the best of luck in your new career choice. And please make smart decisions. Heed my warnings throughout this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.